Welcome to TzuChi This Week. I'm Dennis Wu. It's good to have you with us. In the Philippines, TzuChi volunteers tend to over 400 families displaced by two recent fires in Manila. We recap TzuChi's winter relief distributions in China and understand the plight of underprivileged Chinese people through the story of a fifth grader. And we travel to Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur to join the local TzuChi Year-End blessing ceremony. As the world welcomed the new year in the Philippines, 446 families who lost their homes to two separate late December fires remained in need. TzuChi volunteers brought aid to the fire victims and enlisted the help of 8-year-old Leah and Rachel Awell, who were once conjoined twins but now two separate individuals, thanks to TzuChi.
It's not unusual for couples to argue, but when they lose their sense of reason, it can lead to tragedy. In Paseco, a community in the port area of Manila in the Philippines, a quarrelling couple caused a fire that destroyed 65 houses.
I heard noises outside, so I went to have a look and realized the fire was burning. The distribution is important because after the blaze, we don't have anything left.
Residents break into tears as they pray together with TzuChi volunteers. Among the volunteers, 8-year-old twins, Leah and Rachel, stand out from the crowd. Leah and Rachel Awell were born as conjoined twins and received separation surgery at TzuChi Hospital in Taiwan 7 years ago. Though young, the sisters want to reciprocate by helping others.
We want to help others because we were once helped by TzuChi.
TzuChi volunteers also returned to Barangay Kappan in Muntinlupa City of South Manila and hand out relief items to residents of 381 households who experienced the fire 2 days before Christmas last year. Local volunteers also join in the distribution to help bring love and warmth to those in need.
The weather is cold now. I will be able to keep my children warm with this blanket. I feel really happy because you're here to help us.
You can see that everyone is overwhelmed because you have brought us so many relief items. Blankets, rice, these are the things we don't have.
TzuChi's arrival brings comfort and relief as residents know they will have the volunteers' family-like support on the path to recovery.
This winter, TzuChi plans to carry out seasonal relief distributions in China's 7 provinces and estimates nearly 120,000 people will receive TzuChi supplies. The handout first began in Hebei on December 18th, followed by Fujian province on December 30th, which will continue until January 16th. The distribution in Sichuan began on January 2nd and concluded on the 5th. More handouts will continue in the next 10 days in Guizhou, Guangdong, Yunnan, and Hainan. We now take you to Sichuan's Qu County, where the volunteers carried out distributions earlier in the week and tell you the story of a 5th grader who has to care for his blind father to help you understand the life of the underprivileged here.
The shack in Qu County of China's Sichuan province has only one 30-watt light bulb for all illumination needs. To study, 5th grader Fu Yongchao has to cherish daylight. The doorstep is his chair and a slanted table is his desk. Right posture, proper lighting and a proper studying environment are all luxuries very distant to Yongchao. Despite such a harsh environment, Yongchao does well in school. The original owner of the shack has long moved into the city, and thus Yongchao and his father moved into this abandoned home. The windows of the home are in need of repair. In this cold weather, Yongchao only has a thin jacket to wear. Yongchao's father has lost his eyesight and is unable to work, but life still goes on. When the accident first occurred, Yongchao's mother decided to leave the family. Yongchao and his father survive on minimal government subsidy. Life is indeed difficult.
Our quality of life is poor. My boy's health is not that good. He's not getting enough nutrition. We eat porridge every morning, maybe some rice at noon, but mainly we eat porridge.
Going to school every day, I see neighbors chopping down wood, so I learned to do it too.
Since second grade, besides chopping down wood, Yongchao has learned to wash and prepare rice and other necessary living skills. He is his father's best helper.
Basically, every day to wash my face and feet, Yongchao would bring the water to me. He also helps discard the used water. I can feel my son is truly good to me.
The scholarship from TzuChi gives Yongchao an opportunity to focus on study and also helps him care for his father.
Ever since TzuChi aunties lent us a helping hand, I no longer have to walk a long way to get home. Now I can come home early to help look after my dad. When I'm done with my homework, I begin cooking dinner.
Though Yongchao still has to hike a mountain trail to get home, he now can take a bus ride to get home earlier, and that is already a blessing.
I need my father the most. I hope to do something for my father, because my father is my only family. I want to help him do things that he cannot do.
Yongchao is his father's eyes and his father Yongchao's spiritual support. The two are inseparable. Though life is full of challenges for the pair, TzuChi will be at their side to share love and alleviate suffering.
Malaysian TzuChi volunteers in the capital city of Kuala Lumpur held 3 year-end blessing ceremonies for the growing number of people under their care. The entertainment was provided by talented volunteers, but the highlight was a tender song sung by a care recipient.
At the 2010 year-end blessing ceremony in Malaysia, the theme is White Wedding. Blushing volunteers encourage guests to eat vegetarian and cut emissions.
I hope they will know what it means to practice environmentalism at the source.
Apart from promoting a green way of life, newly qualified TzuChi Commissioner Wang Shurong describes how she went from being a care recipient to a caregiver.
I have to stand firm. If I can do it, I hope everyone can follow my example and step by step volunteer for the environment.
Another person who turned their life around by sorting recyclables is stroke sufferer Peng Lin, who volunteers every month come rain or shine.
If I sleep in late, that's a waste of time. Recycle with them has improved my temper and made me more easygoing.
Ankylosing spondylitis sufferer Liang De Hong only has limited use of his arms, but contributes by sorting paper with other volunteers.
We want the best for the next generation. We have to recycle quickly to save the planet.
The care recipients say sorting paper and plastic is an easy way to do charity work and a big step towards a fulfilling life. On this day, the 8th of January, the mother of all rivers in the United Kingdom, London's River Thames, broke its bank on this day in 1928, flooding the capital and leaving over 1,000 people with no homes to go to. After another flood in 1953, plans were put in place to build the Thames Barrier. A member of the Amis indigenous tribe from Taiwan and a conscripted soldier for Japan in the Second World War, Neuro Nakamura, or Li Guanghui as he is known in Taiwan, surrendered in 1974 after holding out in the Indonesian jungle. He was repatriated to Taiwan on this day in 1975. The first Premier and Foreign Minister of the PRC, Zhou Enlai, died on this day in 1976 at the age of 78. His ashes were scattered over the countryside. He's credited with laying the foundations for China's modern development and being the most morally upright leader of the nation. Starting in 1951, Taiwan's uniform invoice system is the oldest national system of receipts in the world. On this day in 1988, shop tills started automatically printing the slips. Later on December 6, 2006, electronic receipts were introduced in the first step towards a paperless system. TzuChi volunteers and staff from Knightsbridge International went to Afghanistan to distribute fuel, food and clothing to refugees. Since the effort in 2001, this was the second time TzuChi had shipped supplies to the war-torn country. The 6th hospital in the TzuChi healthcare network opened in Taichung in central Taiwan on this day in 2007. Focusing on preventative medicine, the facility qualified as a regional education hospital and to this day provides humanitarian healthcare and patient-centered treatment.
In 2001, in reaction to the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center, the United States attacked Afghanistan. The assault was launched on this day, January 8, 2002. TzuChi volunteers and the U.S. charity organization Knightsbridge International cooperated to bring aid to refugees of the conflict. It was the second time TzuChi had been to Afghanistan, with the chairman of the American NGO, Sir Edward Artis.
We have a responsibility to master and the TzuChi donors and the community that gives us this money to spend it wisely, to make that nickel into a dollar and make that dollar spent. So we have to go into their homes. You see how we do it. It's tough work, but it's the TzuChi way. Hand to hand, eye to eye, heart to heart.
Using every donation wisely, TzuChi volunteers came to war-torn Afghanistan in 2002 together with the chairman of the American NGO Knightsbridge International, Sir Edward Artis. Volunteers from the Taiwanese charity were happy to get to work.
The things we have been waiting for eventually arrived. We've been waiting to distribute the aid. They've been waiting for hope. Now everyone is working hard because it will be dark soon.
These people are standing in line all day to get this food, even in the snow now. Master Chen Yan, you've saved some lives again.
In the bitter Afghanistan winter, no matter how cold it got, volunteers overcame the obstacles as they worked in close cooperation with the local community.
他下个慢慢看我们这种有礼貌、很尊重的对待他们，他们就笑出来。因为他们本来都没有笑容。Salam, salam. 他下个。
This was the second time Edward Artis partnered with TzuChi. The Christian charity worker strongly identifies with the way the Buddhist volunteers put themselves in the shoes of the refugees.
They are centuries behind us in many things.
生活有安心，然后可以立业，然后呢，给教育吼。啊，要不然的话吼，常常都要伫咧分回家，安尼吼是不是真正的救济办法？
To find out how this story really starts, you have to turn the clock back to 1998. Shortly after the earthquake that year, a military plane loaded with weapons landed in central Afghanistan's Bamyan Valley.
I still remember Edward brought 4 parachutes because he knew there was a certain degree of danger. Our airplane wasn't just old, there was also a risk that it would be hit by artillery.
Putting aside the danger, the team of 7 men were on a single mission to bring medical aid to their destination. Local people said they could count on their fingers the number of times they'd received health assistance from the outside world in the last decade.
Handing over medical aid to the local director of health because Edward was a Christian and we were Buddhists, and together we were helping Muslims. That was the master's philosophy of cross-faith love.
At the beginning of 2010, TzuChi and Sir Edward cooperated again, this time in the aftermath of the Haiti earthquake. Overcoming the obstacles, working across national and religious boundaries, wherever help is needed, the volunteers will be there.
And now we join Melody Wei in US TzuChi 360.
Greetings from US TzuChi 360. I'm Melody Wei. On January 12, 2010, a catastrophic magnitude 7.0 earthquake hit the most densely populated region of Haiti, near the country's capital of Port-au-Prince. While it devastated the land, it didn't affect the resilience and hopes of the people. TzuChi quickly responded to the disaster, coming to aid in both supplies and compassion, with love in both material and spiritual form. In response, many who have received aid before are now giving back to their own communities. Even in the midst of leftover rubble, the survivors of the earthquake are securing their own future by educating and improving the hearts and minds of Haiti's children.
TzuChi make us understand that we are not alone. They make us understand, even though we got different color, but we are one people. And then love, this is what we have in common.
Right after the earthquake, Jean Dennis volunteered with some of the earliest distributions at St. Alexandra Church. He quickly stepped forward from being an average volunteer to a community leader.
After meeting TzuChi Foundation, I realized that I should do something to help my community. And I think about how after the quake, the kids don't do anything. They just spend all their time playing in dangerous areas. And I wanted to do something to take care of them and fill their time. If I'm trying to fill their time, then it should be with something good. So I said, why not start by educating them? So me and some of my friends discussed it and said, okay.
She is one of the backup teachers.
You're still the coach for soccer.
I spent 13 years as a police officer. I was a bodyguard.
Many people just lost their jobs, and now he's volunteering to make sure the school is safe. Very good job. I thank him. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So when it's raining, does the water come through? So I think this school is even though there is not like a beautiful school, but I think it's covering the basics. The education program, they're offering math and language, and I saw some science activities going on in the big classroom, and also safety is #1 top priority in our education mission. He's covering that too. So I'm very touched. Very touched. So this tells me that you don't need to have a beautiful school to provide education, right? I mean, it's nice to have a beautiful school, but still you can provide something. These children are still very positive, enthusiastic, and they still have the eager to learn. And I think they have a lot of hope. Oh, are you taking pictures?
It's hard to learn on an empty stomach. TzuChi Foundation actually gave us some food that we prepare for the kids. When we don't have enough supplies, me, Mr. Sergo, Miss Elaine, and other members in the kitchen all donate money to buy food.
But they don't have money as well, right?
But as much as they have, they give.
Kids are the future. Without the kids, there is no future. And then to have a future, you're supposed to have a better life. To have a better life, you're supposed to educate. When I say education, I don't say only to teach how to write and to read. No. To go forward, you're supposed to have love. You're supposed to have compassion. You're supposed to have wisdom. This is education program that we start with some volunteer teachers that they teach the kids. After the program, education program, what now TzuChi will pay for each kids to go to their regular school. Because you know, the parents are very poor. There are some of them who live in the tent. A lot of money just to pay school. School in Haiti are very expensive.
These are recent images from the Back to School program. 80 of the children from the temporary school are given tuition to attend established Haitian schools. The families of these children are given follow-up visits from volunteers to provide advice on how to prevent chloria, as well as support and encourage, emphasizing the value of good education.
A society we just have education, there is no society. You think that if I didn't educate, I wouldn't be there to share what I got, to help others. I think Haiti has hope because TzuChi brings love into Haitian people.
These Haitians, who were once helped by the United States TzuChi volunteers, are now volunteers themselves and have been helping orphanages and the poorer towns as of the making of this program, including everyone they can in TzuChi's love and care.
As the world celebrated the new year, to the audience, supporters, and staff of Dai TV, the day carried another meaning, the station's birthday. For the past 13 years, the station that relies mostly on TzuChi members' contributions and proceeds generated by TzuChi's recycling mission in Taiwan has been broadcasting truth, goodness, and beauty via satellite to the world. We now join the station's birthday celebration.
Here at TzuChi's Humanitarian Center in Taipei, Taiwan, little children and staff members together perform a sign language song to celebrate 13 years of Dai TV and the center's 6th anniversary.
Most of our staff participated in today's event. Through coming here, we hope to express our gratitude towards recycling volunteers for their determination to safeguard the planet and to support Dai TV.
Amassing the power of great love, volunteers and staff from Taipei, Taichung, Jiayi, Kaohsiung, and Hualien are united through a satellite connection. Over to Jiayi, volunteers put on a lively dragon dance show. A rhythmic chant on recycling also captures the audience's attention. Next, the recycling volunteers are joined by Dai TV reporters.
Yes, that's right. Our recycling bodhisattvas here, their ages accumulate to hundreds of years old.
Dai TV President Du Junyuan also encourages everyone to set a good example.
We should work together to promote the idea of how purity begins at the source. Let's not only be a role model in Taiwan, but set a good example around the globe.
Master Zheng Yan then reminds all to spread the seeds of love into their communities.
回归很精很细很干净啊，所以清净在源头那我们还是这一些东西回收回来，还可以呢复制以精致的物件。
As 2011 begins, humanitarian center staff and recycling volunteers around the island, together hand in hand, will practice resource conservation.
In West Malaysia, TzuChi volunteers in Pahang presented the musical show The Sutra of Profound Filial Gratitude to the public on the first day of 2011 in hopes of inspiring positive changes in the mainly Malay population. That's all the time we have for. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.